welcome to I-24 News Sports Weekend Edition, bringing you some of the big stories from the world of sports this past week. A tragic week. One of the targets of the Paris terror attack was the Stade de France, the stadium which is scheduled to host the opening and the final match of Euro 2016 in just a few months. The venue where France won its only World Cup shortly after the stadium was opened in 1998. The fans that came to support their team preparing for the tournament found themselves dealing with something completely different, and the effects were felt way beyond France's national stadium. Michael Friedman with a story.
The Paris attacks have shocked the world in an unimaginable way. The Stade de France was just one of the many places hit Friday night, leaving everyone at the stadium frightened. With fans unable to leave, many poured onto the pitch, holding their loved ones in fear of what may come next. Everyone around the stadium could hear the loud explosions, but were unaware of what was truly happening.
There was confusion. We heard two explosions, but at the beginning, I thought they were handmade bombs. And then there were many rumors inside the stadium. We were at Gate E. It exploded just nearby. It's true that it was noisy, but I thought it was only handmade bombs. But then there were rumors. We heard about a shooting. There was lots of confusion inside the stadium. A very frightened crowd with people on the ground.
French President François Hollande also attended Friday's game, but then left to declare a state of emergency. With terror all around Paris, the players slept at the stadium out of fear of the next possible threat in the city. The German football team then arrived back in Frankfurt on Saturday. While it was a scary night for the players and everyone at the match, the two teams came together and were united at the stadium.
I want to say that the French team said, "We are not leaving if the Germans can't leave." That's an outstanding collegial and companionable gesture of the French side.
The attack was felt all around the world, with players showing their concern, especially those who regularly play in the French capital.
There has been a steady flow of news since last night. It's not like you can disregard it. One has followed it a bit, and the focus has not been 100% on the game. But we also have to respect the match and the focus on the match, which has been very difficult. But now the match is over, and we won.
The PSG players who left to play for their national sides in their international fixtures were very worried for the people back in France. And Brazilian defender David Luiz feels the streets of Paris are not the same anymore.
It is already complicated. Last year we had this as well, an attack on Charlie Hebdo offices. We feel scared, we are fearful. As I said before, I hope this ends soon.
With fear and terror being spread throughout the world, the football community has truly come together in support for the victims of Paris.
The attacks outside the Stade de France and the realization that football matches may be high-profile targets heightened security around sporting venues, and every possible threat is now being taken much more seriously. The fear of fresh attacks on football grounds brought the cancellation of 2 international friendlies on Tuesday, giving us all the feeling that football is not a safe place anymore.
After the attack at the Stade de France, the football world stepped up security and was on high alert, fearing another attack. Despite many of the matches in Europe being played, 2 international friendlies were canceled due to security threats. Belgium was supposed to play against Spain, but the match was called off due to the risk of another potential terror attack. While the players and coaching staff were disappointed not to play the match, they knew they must take all precautionary measures in times like this.
There is a sporting level, but human lives are more important than a football match. We play thousands of matches, so it is one more or one less. It was a big tie. Maybe we'll play it in the future, maybe we won't. We will see.
The next match canceled was in Hanover, where Germany were scheduled to host the Netherlands. German Chancellor Angela Merkel was supposed to be in attendance as well, but the game was called off just 2 hours before kickoff. Although everyone was hoping to move forward after last week's attacks, instead the supporters had to leave the stadium unsure of what was happening.
There were lots of people all of a sudden who told us that we had to leave the stadium as fast as possible. It'll be evacuated. Please do not panic. Just leave the stadium very fast. So we went outside. Nobody knew why. First they said that they found a suitcase with explosives, but has not been revised. And now they say that there were suspicious people in the stadium. We know nothing.
The fans stood outside the stadium holding candles and signs reading, "I am Paris." With uncertainty outside the stadium, the security personnel were being cautious as they believed there was another planned attack with explosives at the game.
Indications of a threat for today's football match have grown stronger in the early hours of the evening, in such a way that the federal security authorities and myself, after carefully weighing all the pros and cons, have urgently recommended to call off the friendly for the safety of all people.
Although it turned out to be a false alarm, the bomb scare was not taken lightly. After all the recent events, the football world is taking every action needed to ensure the safety of the players and supporters at matches. In this dark and challenging time, people still hope to move forwards in solidarity.
There was one match that did take place, and it turned to be the biggest show of solidarity with France. The French national team faced England at Wembley Stadium on Tuesday evening. France and England may be fierce rivals when it comes to football, but on this night they were united for one cause. For once, the result on the pitch was not important, and this match really lived up to its name, an international friendly.
England and France played in an international friendly on Tuesday night, and despite all the concerns due to the Paris attacks, the match provided great importance. With the people coming together in this difficult time, the football world showed its resiliency once again. Prior to the match, the English players and coaching staff lined up and stood for a minute of silence as a mark of respect to the victims of the attacks. And England's manager, Roy Hodgson, spoke about the significance of the match.
I think any opportunity that the world of football has to do good should be taken, because it is something which affects a lot of people's lives. And if the French authorities feel, as they obviously did, that this football match going ahead is a major statement on their behalf to help them continue their fight against terrorism, and they've had some pretty bad incidents even before the one on Friday night. If we can show our solidarity, if that helps in any way, we're delighted.
Despite the long divisions between the French and the English, the footballers became united in this difficult time. And England's captain, Wayne Rooney, believes the game would be a chance for the French team to do their country proud.
Yeah, I think first of all, on behalf of the players, we'd like to give our condolences, and it's an incredibly sad time. A lot of people losing their lives. And you know, having teammates from my club in both teams there as well. I spoke to them after it happened, and it's hard for everyone, including ourselves.
The match opened up with Prince William joined by the two managers holding flowers with the French tricolours. It was a feeling of true fraternity as the players and fans were all singing along to the French national anthem. With around 71,000 supporters at the stadium, many waved the French flag, held up scarves, and showed banners in solidarity.
Well, this side is to represent France, my country, my family, and this side is to represent England, where I live, where my children are, and together we're united, and that's what I want to be today, represent both countries together.
The match took place just 4 days after the terror attacks, and despite everything the team and country went through, the French squad believed in the importance of playing this match. And French manager Didier Deschamps felt the support all around the stadium.
I'd like to thank everyone, first of all, for the statements and the actions of solidarity. We felt very grateful for how not just the people here at Wembley, but how the English nation have supported us and have been very strong with us. I think we've had this moment of communal grief, almost this outpouring of communal grief, and it has been good for us.
While the score didn't matter, England won the match 2-0, but all that will be remembered was the brotherly love seen between the French and English that night.
The Euro 2016 playoffs were supposed to be the biggest story this week, but unfortunately they were way behind. And yet, for 4 teams, this was an incredible week, as they were the last to book their spot in next year's competition. Michael Friedman recaps the action in the playoffs.
The last 4 teams to make it into the UEFA Euro 2016 finals next summer in France were decided. The final playoff round was played, and the winners who advanced are Hungary, the Republic of Ireland, the Ukraine, and Sweden. Hungary finished 3rd in Group F behind Northern Ireland and Romania, which set up their playoff match against Norway. After winning 3-1 on aggregates, the team reached their first major tournament in 30 years, and all the players feel great pride for their nation.
I think everybody is very proud. I'm very proud of the team because we show the character, and I think we show on the 2 games that we're a good team and we have a place in France.
The next playoff was between Bosnia and Herzegovina against the Republic of Ireland. Despite Bosnia being the favorite of the teams in the playoffs to make it through, Ireland proved to be the better team. The Republic of Ireland now joins neighbors Northern Ireland, England, and Wales in reaching France. And manager Martin O'Neill is extremely proud of his squad.
I'm absolutely delighted. I'm thrilled for myself, naturally, rather selfishly if that's the case. But I'm thrilled for the players because they have put heart and soul into the games.
The next team to qualify for France next summer is the Ukraine. The team got past Slovenia, winning 3-1 on aggregates, and booked their ticket to France next summer. The Ukrainian manager was so happy for how his squad performed and to have the opportunity to be part of Euro 2016.
Thank you very much. I left my emotions on the pitch, but yes, I'm very happy for the whole team and practically for the whole nation.
And the final team to take their place in the Euros is Sweden after knocking out neighbors Denmark. Zlatan Ibrahimovic lifted his country with 2 crucial goals and showed once again why he's one of the best players in the world. And it's no surprise his manager had so much praise for his team, and especially the 34-year-old veteran striker.
We said to each other before this gathering that if we get our defense to work, we'll win these matches. We have a world star up front, and we have a number of players who are very loyal to support him here too.
Now that we have all the teams for next summer in France, the final tournament draw will take place on December 12th, which will place the 24 teams into 6 groups of 4 teams each. With great excitement for next summer's football tournament, the finals will start on June 10th, and the championship match will take place at the Stade de France on July 10th.
And Michael joins me here in the studio. Hi, Michael. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
First, let's hope we speak only of football from now on.
Yes.
As nice as it was to have you speaking on other stuff, enough.
You missed all the sports.
Yes, very much. Now, football. We asked many times about Sweden, about Portugal as well. Is one superstar enough? I always said no. Zlatan Ibrahimovic made it very clear, loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Hell yes.
Unbelievable. He's 34 years old, and he's proving why he's known to be one of the greatest players in the world, even at this late age. You know, they were thinking that Denmark was going to be the team to be able to beat them and send him into his retirement.
And they got a good result in the way in Sweden, 2-1 away, not bad.
Not bad, the away goal. And a lot of the football pundits, they said Denmark will go through. But they forgot to think that there is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He is the man that was able to ensure them to go through. He was phenomenal. The goals he scored was everything needed to get them through. And at the end of the day, he was the one to say, I'm going to send Denmark into retirement, and he's going to probably retire after the Euros next summer. But he said, you know, we'll wait till that time. But he's getting older, but he's still showing he's got a lot left in him.
And if it wasn't for Cristiano Ronaldo on the other side, he would have been in the World Cup as well.
Yep.
Now, you gotta love Ireland with that Superman celebration. You just gotta, it's jolly fun, as they say.
Well, that's the Irish. The Irish know how to celebrate, and the Irish and the kit man here. You know, it's so special that you could see all the fun that they're having, jumping up and down, celebrations. I'm happy to see this, and I think it's nice to have the opportunity to have Ireland in there. You have a big, matchup that could come later on with Northern Ireland. So you have all these big.
What a match that could be! They can't face each other in the group stage. They're both in pot 4. But if they face each other in a playoff match and a do or die match, what a game that will be!
When the two of them do play each other, it will be a match that the whole world will be watching in anticipation of what can be. Obviously, there's a big rivalry amongst the two, but both Northern Ireland and Ireland have done a great job to qualify. Northern Ireland, it's their first major tournament in 30 years, so for them it's So exciting, super impressive what they've done, and they believe that they have a lot more to go and a lot farther to bring them.
And what a qualifying this has been for Irish and British. I mean, England is there, Wales is there, Northern Ireland and Ireland. If it were for the Scots, only
that's all we're missing is Scotland, unfortunately, or else that whole area is just conquering the football.
English-speaking tournament it could have been.
Yes, we have England there, which obviously they're expected to go. They're a very strong team. But the other ones surrounding them, Wales is super exciting.
We saw them here. They're a good side.
A very good side. Once again, we have Gareth Bale, who is one of the greatest players in the world. And Wales, they have a little extra help, surrounding them. Surrounding him, there's a lot of good players. But Ireland, Northern Ireland, they're teams that aren't as strong. So for them, it's
they'll be nice to watch. And as he said, the draw is next month. Michael Friedman, thank you very much. And that's it for Talking Football next week. Join us again next week. Hopefully there will be only sports to talk about. Thank you for watching.